catching on fire.
Yeah.
6 kids.
Is that like in vogue again? I don't know. It's like a flex to have a bunch of kids.
We're waiting on so bad.
Are you ready?
Both ready?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to for February the 24th, 2026. If everyone would please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So that, would you call the roll, please?
Paul Anthony,
Here.
Ann Baum,
Here.
Robert Brooks, Frank Fasciano,
Here.
Ricky Bauer,
Here.
Justin Grimshaw, John Hayes,
Here.
James Irwin,
Here.
Kevin Lott, William McGee, Representative Jeannie McNeil, Glenn Reedman,
Present.
Kevin Surface, Mike Stershik,
Here.
Jonathan Strauss.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Any public comment?
Not at this time.
I will entertain a motion for approval of the January 27, 2026 minutes.
So moved.
Frank, second by John. Are there any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Reports, we'll go to the treasurer's report. Frank.
Thank you very much, Glenn. Todd, take it away. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Start off with the traffic of January. Actually, before I even start, I want to acknowledge some hard work for some folks, Steve and his team, Connie and his team for all that outdoor work. Especially over the weekend, they're prepared for the weather. Whether we have 5 inches, no inches, they're ready. So we appreciate all their hard work before we even get started. All right, traffic was down a little bit. You can see we had 70 cancellations because of the weather. Air traffic overall, though, was pretty static. But you see what's going on with our bus traffic. Some of that cancellations because of weather, and the other part because we don't have United anymore as well. Kind of seeing where we are compared to all airports. Seats were down, but throughput doing much better than all airports there compared to halfway there when it compares to our peers. But you look at the average, we're doing much better on the throughput. Seats are in the same ballpark as the average. For the month of January, we ended up positive despite all challenges, thanks to some extra revenue. Thank you, Connie and her team. But we managed some of our expenses as we always do. But overall, we ended up with some positive net income. Overall net income was $76K. Operating income, although, was negative. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. Snow. Always good to kind of see what's going on with snow and what's going on this year. So in the last 10 years, those are the top 5 months that we spent on snow. You can see that the second one and the fourth one are this winter season, as Steve likes to say, which starts December to March, right, Steve? Is what he calls his winter season. So we had back to back. You can see 556K, and that's more than our entire budget for the whole year of 2026. Nothing we can do about the weather, but you can kind of see what's going on there. We had 9 events, 30 inches in January and December. This is our profit centers, kind of color-coded them this month just to kind of get a feel for, where our money comes from and what's covering what. So parking, aviation lease, non-aviation lease and advertising are in the green. Then we have some of the other things that we are subsidizing with those numbers. You can see down there, terminal and airfield at the bottom. That really gets into how much we have to subsidize our rates to stay competitive. They'll attract service. And like I said earlier, if you look at that red number there, we're negative on operations by 40K, but we have some non-operational income. A lot of that is interest income from some of our extra cash, and that took us over as far as being positive. Breaking down the variances, the biggest one there is employee benefits. So I think we're down about 9, and I think I have another slide, but you can see we don't have as many full-time folks that we had budgeted, even though the hours are still being covered. And even the folks that we have, we don't have as many families as we had budgeted. So that's the biggest variance there. Kind of see there, the Connie section there with the aviation services 2 and 3, and Darren and Connie. And then, like I said, the interest there and kind of breaking down those numbers. Personnel costs are favorable by 9%. A lot of that, like I just mentioned, is on the benefit side. You can kind of see there, hours, we're only 1% off versus budget, despite 9 less full-time and 45 less part-time. So when you look at the overall count of people, the hours were pretty close to spot on. They just were covered in a different mix than we had in the budget. And then on a non-personnel, I'll just say snow. Snow and more snow.
Yeah.
And then this is breaking down our cash, kind of showing where we are for the next 12 months with our new cash on hand of 78 and change per day. I think that's it. Any questions? I mean, it's 1 month. Obviously, we ended up on a positive side. Overall, all things considered, not a bad way to start the year off considering the challenges with the weather.
Gross revenue for January was up. Where did the additional revenue come from?
A lot of it came from the de-icing side, which is always a good thing. You can only cut expenses so much, so revenue drives the roofs. Any other questions? And obviously, to your question, we can't budget for those things. We don't know. So some of these things come in. We're anticipating one thing. If we get more, way to go. We're happy about it.
So you have some kind of a formula that ties it to snow events, I assume?
We do. We have an estimate based on what's going on, but it's an estimate.
Yep.
Any other questions, concerns? All right, thank you.
Todd, I had a quick question.
Okay, is that Ricky?
Yes.
Yeah. I just curious. You shared about the budget on overtime for the snowstorms. Is the de-icing positive variance enough to cover some of that, or do you anticipate that absorbing some of the overages on the overtime for the snow removal?
So, Sabette, can you pull up that PowerPoint one more time? Thank you. I got it here. So, back here. Oops, sorry. Not there. Oh. No. So here you can see it on here. So overall, number 5, I'll tell you the next 2 slides. Number 5 there, you see it there, Ricky? So number 5 is overall salary.
Yes.
So even though we paid more premium rates for snow and some of that and overtime, it's not really overtime, it's really premium rate. We don't call it overtime, so it wouldn't show up as overtime. It's just premium. There's a premium rate for snow. Overall, because we didn't have as many employees as we had budgeted, because we are down some, and I'll show that on the next slide, we actually were less than we had budgeted by 63,000. You see that?
Yes.
And then the other part of that on the top one up there, number 1, is the employee benefits. So because they were covered by existing folks, even though you're paying a premium, you're not paying extra benefits on them, mainly the medical and those things. And that's where you're saving a lot on the employee benefits. So you're still covering the hours, which was on the next slide here. So overall hours, to your point, Ricky, were pretty much spot on what we had budgeted. It was just a different mix and a more favorable mix as far as cost, because we didn't have as many full-time. Obviously, our full-time folks are working more time, getting premium rate, but we're not paying extra medical and those things on those folks. It's just extra premium costs. So those costs wash out as far as hours to about pretty close to even at a -1. Did I answer your question, Eric?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great question. Any other questions before I get rid of this slide?
All right, can I get a motion to accept the 2026 report? Mike, second by John, all in favor?
Aye.
Are there any other, any opposed? Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, Jim, Business Committee?
All right, so we have one item, and I'll turn it over to Darren.
Thank you, sir. So this is just approval of a ground lease for Hangar 4. That's the former Air Products, or soon to be former Air Products hangar, I guess I would say. So I think most of you know, Air Products had built the hangar, ceased flight operations, and had it for sale for a bit now. Just a little bit. It's about 5 acres of land that they're leasing. We're doing an initial term of 25 years, and there's 2 renewal terms on there. Both of those renewal terms come with, if the lessee wants to exercise those, you have to reinvest in the facility to have the option to exercise those extension options. And at the end of the day, the airport authority has the ultimate ability to say yes or no. And so it could be strictly a 25-year lease, or it could be extended if need be or interested. Rent is a little higher than what was on the original Hangar 4 lease, just because we adjusted it to current market from what it had been when we first started with that one. Typical these types of leases, CPI adjustments every 5 years, and this is a triple net lease, so we pay nothing. Everything is any fees, utilities, anything like that go to the lessee. It's an aeronautical lease, so it's aircraft storage, aircraft maintenance, things like that. Important piece on this, and one of the things that we really worked hard for, is on the fuel facility. So there is a fuel storage, fuel farm there at the hangar, and we prefer to have control of that facility. So in this case, we were able to negotiate with the buyer of the hangar to basically lease that back to us at $1 annual lease. We'll operate it. We'll take on the expenses of operating it, and in turn sell them the fuel at a discounted rate out of the farm. And then it gives us some additional storage, another 40,000 gallons of jet fuel storage, which is always a good thing to have a little bit of extra inventory. And like I said, gives us control of it. Doesn't jeopardize our proprietary exclusive that we hold today as far as selling all the fuel on the airfield and things like that. That part of the agreement, either one of us can terminate that fuel facility arrangement with 180 days notice. So if it's not working for us or not working for them, that can be terminated. In that case, they would then take over operation of the farm, and they could only use it for their own aircraft. They can't sell it. They can't fuel others out of there. It's only for their own. So, and then again, we talked about the reinvestments. Upon expiration of the lease, the hangar becomes the property of the airport authority. It reverts back to us. And they can't assign it or transfer it unless these are the same terms that were out of the original Hangar 4 lease. So the only way they can assign it without our permission is if they find a tenant that's got greater than $40 million of net worth. So it's, you're getting a basic credit-worthy tenant. Outside of that, we have the ultimate sole discretion to approve or deny any assignments of the lease, as we did today. So all of our standard, insurance language, indemnification, all the standard provisions, all of our leases are in this one just as well. The principal of the company, Clippius Holdings, that's buying it, is a long-term tenant here. They've been here for quite a while in Hangar 3 with a pretty successful business, honestly, a very successful business. They've grown from basically one guy working out of his truck to now they've got one whole hangar. This will be their second hangar, and I don't know how many employees they have, but I'm going to say 25 plus employees at this point. So quite a good little business they built there. So obviously we're working with the solicitor to draft the lease. So we're just looking to approve these terms and authorize staff to execute the lease pending final legal review. Answer any questions?
What termination rights do they have in the first term?
Do they have?
Yeah.
Not unless we breach for some reason.
So there would be a buyout of some sort.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the Air Products buyout or not? I'm kind of curious.
The new.
Right, the old, with Air Products, how many years have they been here with the lease?
At least they're in year 4 of their lease right now.
Right, what were the provisions for terminating that lease though?
They don't. They can. I mean, they sell the hangar. They're asking us to assign it. We couldn't hold them to it and say we could deny the assignment, and they would not be able to sell it or do anything with it at this point in time. But ultimately, this one is a better lease for us at the end of the day. It pays us more, and we get control of the fuel farm back that we did not have with the Air Products lease.
Right, what about maintenance of the building, snow plowing, is that
It's all.
Airport's
that's-
responsibility?
No, that's all on the tenant. There are certain pieces that we do and bill them for. So there's some snow removal that we're doing, but we bill back to
Okay.
the tenant. So
Sorry, John.
it's 100%, like I said, it's a triple net lease. Everything is on the lessee. We provide truly nothing but the lease, the oversight of the lease.
So to be clear, Air Products, they don't own the land, they own the improvements?
They
or
own
they're
the
selling
improvements.
leasehold? Okay, got it.
And that's what they're selling. They're selling the improvements, and then we continue to own the land as we do today. And eventually,
The new tenant, are they required to make any upfront improvements for the initial term?
no, there's nothing. I mean, the hangar's a year old at this point in time, so there's really nothing. So
There are no issues with construction?
no, I mean, there were some that we've already been addressed, that Air Products addressed. So
I think overall, like the terms, you did a good job putting together.
appreciate that.
Air Products granted the entire Air Force?
Yeah, as far as I know, I believe I think
I've
they've
heard
sold.
that, but I hadn't heard confirmation, that's why.
Yeah, I believe they've sold everything. That they,
That'd be rough having to fly coach.
So are we talking to, with the prospect of Eli Lilly and some of these other larger firms like J&J, are we actively looking for other opportunities like this? Or are we?
Always looking, yeah, for sure. I mean, we field a ton of requests from hangar developers, things like that all the time as well. So yeah.
And those are primarily here, or are we also talking about Queen City?
Mostly here because Queen City can't handle that aircraft. I mean, we definitely talk to some folks about different opportunities at Queen City and even at Braden occasionally, but the bigger stuff is all
those
here.
to be net positive.
Yeah, it would be,
So-
trust me. I don't know if I've heard Todd mention that to me more than 12,000 times probably, but yeah. Certainly always looking for opportunities to find new revenue at those airports as well.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve hangar 4 ground lease? Jonathan, second. John, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Tom?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, Todd mentioned a little bit of winter weather. We're off to an interesting start. As we look at February, national checkpoint throughput is up about 3%. Evidently, those are states without snow. Here, we're about flat, but we did have some significant flight cancellations in February already. So I'm anticipating that will also be a factor in our February numbers. Cargo, on the other hand, continues to be up. We're up about 6.5% for January. Taking a look at some items since our last board meeting on the 27th. On Sunday, February 26th, so just this past weekend, we had participated in the AAA Travel Expo out at Wind Creek. A lot of great questions, a lot of great feedback from folks coming through the expo. Number one, I think, was parking, and people that were happy to hear that we're talking about some additional parking here for sure. Also air service questions, so there's a lot of good dialogue.
How was traffic at that this year?
At the Wind Creek, it was good. People actually came out. I think the weather chased some people in, but because it was mostly rain for the beginning part of that whole event, it was still good, still well attended. And then today, we're actually attending the Liberty High School Career Fair over at Bethel Mary School District. So we've got that on the docket as well. In terms of upcoming events, Thursday, February 26th, Babbitt's Bethel Mary Vocational Technical School students will be on site for some job shadowing. So Protective Services Group, working with our police and fire departments, they'll be doing some job shadowing for 6 weeks. Maintenance team, there'll also be some HVAC and electrical, other trades, plumbing. They're going to be in and doing some job shadowing with our maintenance department for a few sessions as well. Thursday, March 5th, we're participating in a STEAM Expo at Springhouse Middle School as part of Parkland School District's program. So always kind of a lot of education events coming up. March 20th, we're attending Becca High's High School Career Fair, so we've got that coming. And then Wednesday, March 25th, we're attending Babbitt's is having their Career and College Fair. So right at the Vocational Technical School, we'll be part of that. And then last item coming up in April, the 21st through the 26th, is our next TSA PreCheck open enrollment. That will be on site. Registration is going to be opening in the next couple of weeks, so we'll be getting some information out about that if people are interested. But that concludes my report, Mr. Chair. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for the
Yeah.
executive?
Yeah, are we having any issues with our TSA staff with the
So
shutdown?
we are not. We've been touching base with them and we're doing okay at this point. We haven't, from what we understand from some of our trade groups, there really hasn't been an effect of paychecks just yet for folks, but we're touching base with TSA, making sure they have what they need, and certainly they've been phenomenal.
Okay, good.
Any other questions for Tom? Seeing none, thank you, Tom.
Sure.
Madam Solicitor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As most of you, if not all of you are aware, there's been a recommendation to implement the use of a project labor agreement parking garage project. And so my office is just compiling some background and guidance to facilitate a discussion in that area. And then the rest is the maintenance, the right to know request responses, just fielding questions from staff as they come in, the Clippius lease, other leasehold items, that sort of thing. So. And also a reminder to complete your statements of financial interest and return your conflict forms as well. They're due May 1st, so that.
Any questions for the solicitor? Any new business? Madam Solicitor, do we have any reason to go in executive
Yes,
session?
sir. That's right.
I will therefore take a motion for adjournment. Meeting's adjourned. We'll see you on March 26th for committee meetings at 9.